can't take it to 10.
Well, Coach, to be predicted this time of year, it is a cold and windy night in downtown Baltimore at M&T Bank Stadium. Here's the scene a short time ago. The Ravens introduced to this sellout crowd, and through a sea of pyrotechnics, out they came from the tunnel. We're set to go as the Ravens get ready to match up with the New England Patriots. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9? That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. They go to the former Saint, Mark Ingram, and he'll be upended after a gain of 5, up to the 25-yard line. Baltimore was the most run-heavy team in the league last year after Lamar Jackson took over as a starter, and you think about Mark Ingram, he goes from a situation where he was sharing time with Kamara in New Orleans. Now he figures to be the top guy in the Baltimore backfield, although I guess you could say he's kind of splitting time with his quarterback, Lamar Jackson. But a great veteran presence, Mark Ingram is behind Jackson. Ingram now in his 9th NFL season. On second down, Ingram. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 5 yards on first down, but now just a 1-yard pickup there on second.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. Okay, look at this. The punt team nowhere to be found. They're on the sidelines. Offense going to go for this on the opening drive. Here we go on fourth down with Jackson. Flush to his right. He may try and run for this. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. Well, we kind of looked at each other as they decided to go for it. But in the end, great execution, a 6-yard gain, and it all works out. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. From the gun, it's a run for Ingram. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down. So add that tackle for a loss to the 2 that he had a week ago.
And you know what he's doing right now?
Smiling?
Yeah, definitely doing that. But he's also patting his guys on the back, his defensive front, because they're keeping him clean, meaning no one's getting to him as a blocker. He's able to run to the football, and the plays he's making, he's throwing them in the offensive backfield.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. He was trying to get it to Seth Roberts, but now it'll be third down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Jackson from the shotgun. And he's got Snead. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. The Ravens get a new set of downs, give them 17 on that pickup. Now Jackson on first down. And it's incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now Jackson. Looking left side. Andrews with it complete. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down. And forget about the run to set up the pass. They're just coming out throwing.
Forget trying to set anything up. They feel like they have the advantage. They feel like they have the matchups, and they're just attacking right now.
Yep, going to the air on the opening drive. This will be play number 9 coming up on this relatively long opening drive as they look to convert on 3rd down. Now it's Jackson. He's going deep for Brown. Well, the two men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively, brings up 4th down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Here's Jackson. And they hit him as he throws, as this one's going to go straight down to the turf. Incomplete. John Harbaugh not afraid to go for it this time. Doesn't work out. And this defense holds firm here on the opening drive of the night. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10. Now the leading rusher for the Pats last year is a rookie, Sony Michel. The 30. Past the 20. And all the way in. Touchdown, New England. Sony Michel, his 9th touchdown of the season. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Extra point good by Gostkowski. And it's now a 7-0 game. Gostkowski now, after the touchdown, he'll send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20.
The Ravens take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And last time out, went for it on 4th down, turned it over, gave them great field position, turned into 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on 4th down.
Caused all of that.
It caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for them. Didn't happen. Also showed confidence in the defense. They didn't pick up their end of the bargain, so now they've got to come back out and start over and rebuild that confidence.
1st and 10 at the 39-yard line.
From up near the 40 now after the big play to start, here's another 1st and 10.
All day, every day, any day.
From the gun, Jackson. Escaping the pressure right. Connects it to Roberts, right side. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. The Raven passing game getting in sync. Another 1st down. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. From the gun, it's Jackson. He's got his man. It's Andrews. A good pickup there, a 22. Nice throw there by Jackson. You think about what a boost he gave Baltimore the middle of last year, led them to victories in 6 of their last 7 games as a starter, replacing Joe Flacco, who had the hip issue. And that strong finish was good enough for the Ravens to capture their first AFC North crown since 2012. And now Jackson's a known commodity. He's the unquestioned starter, and with increased expectations and pressure on the former Heisman Trophy winner. Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete.
Well, he's been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on it, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
And this Patriot defense up to the challenge once more as they again stop him behind the line. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And that'll force upon him a 3rd and 14.
On the ready. 53's mine. Check. 53's mine. I'm coming.
Jackson now. From the gun, he'll throw. Caught by Snead over the middle. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route. Drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Let's put that team on a punt.
Jackson. This one complete to Ingram. And they go the wrong way on this one. Losing yardage back at the 12. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. A gain of 8 there on the 8th play of the drive.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass, looked like it was coming together, looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid gain.
Third and goal, Jackson. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
The Pats at the line, ready to go. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team, and that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
2nd down pass play got him 8 yards. Now they've got a 3rd and a couple remaining. They'll try and run for it. Here's Michel. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the 1st. Give him 6 yards in the 1st down. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. On the ground, Michel. The UCLA product, Kenny Young, had the tackle.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
From the 36, Brady, left side, it's Dorsett. It's a 1st down on a gain of 10.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you? And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another 1st. 2 minutes on the clock, 2nd quarter. 7-0 ball game.
We got this.
Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our 1st half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. And he's in. Touchdown, Patriots. Sony Michel, his 10th touchdown of the season, 2nd of the game. And the Patriots, they add on to their lead. Gostkowski with the extra point, and that'll make the score 14-0. Gostkowski now, after the touchdown, he'll send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Jackson. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. They came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
The Ravens on 3rd down. 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. From the gun, Jackson. He finds Roberts, complete. A big 30-yard play on 3rd.
I think it's pretty safe to say that initially they had to be thinking about trying to get into field goal range. But after that shot right there, they've got to be thinking bigger right now.
And that was probably their thought offensively. If we hit this, great. Let's go for the end zone. If not, settle for a field goal. Looks like they can try to hit pay dirt. Finds Roberts left side. That's good for 28 yards.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Jackson now. And it's caught. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. Now the Patriots going to use one. Their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit them, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Jackson. That's complete right around the 8. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Mark Ingram, his 6th touchdown of the season, as they are now on the board here in the first half.
Justin Tucker to kick off for Baltimore.
So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. This is taken near the 13. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. You're under a minute to go here in the half. Field position not really in your favor, but still time to try and move the ball and get in field goal range.
Yeah, you got the lead.
That's caught inside the 20. And all the way in. Touchdown, New England. N'Keal Harry, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Patriots are able to strike quickly for 6. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here of the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. Well, look at the clock here. You're inside of a minute. First half hasn't gone that well for you. How are you going to play this drive?
Well, I've been told by my coaches previously that the intelligent approach, go ahead and run out the clock and start over. Don't make any more mistakes. But there's also something to understanding that you got this last drive here. You get the ball to start the second half. Try and go 2 for 1 here. Get some points now and come out of the locker room and get more points again and get your momentum really built up.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now it's Jackson. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Andrews. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. Jackson now over 200 yards already in this first half. It's 1st and 10. Here's Jackson operating from the gun. And that is incomplete. Down to 15 seconds now. So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. They'll fake the give to Ingram. Now Jackson. There goes a deep ball. End zone. And not only did he drop it, he dropped it in the end zone. The Ravens on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. Here's Jackson to throw. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Intended for Mark Andrews. Incomplete. It's now 4th down.
Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. Final play of the half here. It's Jackson. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. So here we go for half number 2. The Patriots with the lead, and they will be getting the football. And take it. The Pats at the line, ready to go. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. He's got a first down and then some inside the 40. And down to the 27-yard line. That one 28 yards on the ground. One thing that's great about watching him run, Charles, he doesn't hesitate. He got to the left side of his O-line and just went.
So there's 2 ways to look at that. One, just absolutely unconcerned, just takes off and goes. But more the latter, I think, which is he has absolute confidence in the guys in front of him, the guys doing the blocking for him. He just takes it and goes with abandon.
Now here's a throw right side taken in by his tight end. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that would look pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage.
Come on, come get some. He don't want it. Hey, look, 48. Hey, we go back. Hey, check it.
Brady. And that's going to be caught for a Patriot touchdown. N'Keal Harry with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the Patriots, they add on to their lead. Gostkowski the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Gostkowski now, after the touchdown, he'll send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. The throw here to Andrews, the tight end. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. It's a first down on a gain of 10.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Looking deep downfield. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man, and you got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football. Well, they certainly haven't been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got to just pin their ears back and get after him now.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
Now we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. And a tough ask here. They're going to go for it on 4th down and 9.
Let's go.
They'll indeed go for it with Jackson, eluding the pressure right. They got his man complete. 4th down conversion plays, you usually think 1, 2, 3 yards, maybe 10. Not there. What a huge pickup as the Sticks make a drastic shift forward. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. And this is caught. I think he got that with one hand. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. A small bit of adversity here on what's been a strong drive as they come up 2nd and 12. And Jackson throwing once more. Wide open receiver complete. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Patriots' 21.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
To throw is Jackson. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays. Now we're going to get a timeout here called by the Patriots. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. Jackson from the shotgun. Flushed out right. Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And it's picked up by the Patriots. And he's into the clear. He's at the 50, 30, the 20. And he will score. Touchdown, Patriots. We know this defense has some playmakers. We saw it right there. Well, really, we've seen it the whole game.
Isn't it nice to see that on the opposite side of the ball? Respect, my man, respect. The defensive guys are outscoring their opposing offense.
Yeah, they're outscoring him indeed with that score alone. Gostkowski for the point after. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Baltimore offense at the line set to get going. And they'll be looking to start fresh. Just a moment ago, they were backed up, coughed up the football, and then saw it go the other way for 6 points.
I just wonder, partner, sometimes they put such an emphasis on things. And, you know, in that situation, as they ran out there, they were told, take care of the football, don't cough it up. And sometimes that's the last thing you hear, and that's exactly what you do.
Ingram again. And they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Check, check. Watch 54. Watch 54. Hey, watch the slant. Watch the slant.
On 3rd down, Jackson. He's got his tight end on the corner route. It's complete. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. A big one there for the Ravens. It goes for 18. Jackson now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Jackson's throw on target to Willie Snead. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards. So into Pat's territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 41.
Our time. It's our time. Hustle, hustle. Mike 5-4, Mike 5-4.
Operating from the gun. Jackson. He's got it to Ingram. Complete. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Back-to-back nice plays. 12 yards that time and a 1st down.
Check, check. Watch 54. Watch 54. I'm here all day.
On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. Dante Hightower coming in for the sack from his linebacker spot. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Here's Jackson. And an alley to run. Excellent work that time to get free, and for his exploits, he's going to be left with just a 3rd and 3. I thought they were going to sack him there like they did on 1st down. Great coverage, but he found a way to move with his legs.
Yeah, his ability to take off, not only did he get some yardage back, he got a little bit extra. Really helps him on 3rd down, makes it manageable now.
Looking left side, and he's got him in. That's Ingram. Another 13 yards there twice in a row, and they're on the move. Another 1st down as well. 2 of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. Now Jackson. This will be caught at about the 6. And he's able to get this down to the 5-yard line before he's out of bounds. 3 yards is the gain that time. 2nd and goal. And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. Throwing is Jackson. Forced out to his left. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Now it's Jackson. Flush to his right. He can run for it, and he will. Only able to get back a yard for his efforts, and that leads us to 4th down. He'd had some success as a runner previously on this drive, just not as much space there that time.
Yeah, this time when he pulled it down, they were ready for him, so I think he's going to have to fling a few in order to open up that running lane again.
Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
Muscles him off. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he'd taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. Lopsided game in the 4th quarter that we're witnessing, but number 12, Tom Brady, he's still out there.
Not a surprise, frankly. From what we've seen over the years, that's the Patriot way. He plays all the way through, no matter what the score, what the situation. Hard to argue with their results thus far.
I'd like to be behind him just holding the clipboard, right? That's not a bad life.
That's the way to make a living in the NFL.
So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. Shotgun now for Brady. Looks for White, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops. Now they get a 4th quarter pick, a little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That's a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other, but it's all.
And Jackson cannot get away, and he'll go down. Lawrence Guy, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Back to throw. Jackson. Dancing to his left. Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And the Patriots have it.
All right, you've had to put up with me in this booth. I'm going to try and be simple this time and succinct. It simply has not been their night.
No, I think that fumble's kind of indicative of how this whole evening's gone, isn't it?
Without a doubt. I mean, they've tried, but nothing is ever really taken throughout the game. That's why they're down so big.
Now a throw right side taken in here to start this drive. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the 4th, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and look like turtle at this point. You can just go ahead and play.
48, bravo. 48, Mike. What's the 28?
Throwing on 1st down is Brady. Complete to Watson, the tight end. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the 1st down completion.
2nd and 2 at the 11-yard line.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch. Good for 8 yards.
Pull it together. 50. 36.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Patriots with the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And he's in. Touchdown, Patriots. An 11-yard touchdown as his guys continue to pour it on. Still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point. Now, this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead.
Patriots 42, Ravens 9.
Gostkowski now after the touchdown. He'll send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
Let's go. Let's do it.
The Ravens take over 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
On 2nd and 11 now. Jackson, they go screen. This is Ingram. And they'll blow that one up back at the 16-yard line.
I thought that wasn't a bad time to call the screen. I thought late game, down on the scoreboard, had to figure they were expecting a pass downfield.
Yeah, so the edge rushers, they're coming. That could have hit big. You're right. Good recognition defensively to snuff that one out. Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
The Pats at the line, ready to go. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. That's always puzzled me a little bit.
They'll run on 1st down. Michelle, this will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Patriots, the win will move them to 7-2 now on the year. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for Baltimore, things are kind of getting ugly as they drop to 1-7 now on the year. And they'll try to turn things around next week as they have a matchup in Cincinnati against the Bengals. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.
Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? Are you ready? Get ready, dog. This be the green light, go. Tires burn the pavement. People want to know when Mace, Poss, and Dave went. Still here, still When it was time to get it lit, we got it hot like fever. Sick with the talk, pass to your receiver. All